when you've got somebody like Bueckers, here's what Shannon and Andrea, I've been bringing this up for the last couple of weeks or so because I'm a fan of Paige Bueckers.
When Stephen A. Smith dropped that line, it shocked a lot of people. After all, Stephen A. had always been a loud supporter of Caitlin Clark.
Having a good season so far. I don't think it's her greatest performance or her greatest season so far, and she's struggled in a couple of these games.
Stephen A. was backing Paige Bueckers. And that raised the question, why? Well, here's the thing. Stephen A. wasn't just throwing out a statement to stir the pot or take sides. He wasn't saying this just because it was trendy or part of some media narrative. He said it because he truly believes that while Caitlin Clark may be the face of women's basketball right now, Paige still has something extraordinary within her. Something that could have rivaled Clark's rise to the top, if not for those tough breaks. Paige once considered the future of women's basketball, had all the hype when she entered college. From the moment she stepped on the court, her skills were unparalleled. The way she handled the ball, her court vision, her shooting ability. She was a guard unlike any we'd seen before. She was the real deal, and her high school highlights were enough to turn heads. Everyone knew she was going to be special. In her freshman year, Paige showed everyone why she was so highly anticipated. She earned accolades and honors that cemented her as one of the brightest stars in women's basketball. But then, disaster struck. Injuries, one after another, took her off the court. A torn ACL, a tibial plateau fracture, and a meniscus tear. These weren't just minor setbacks. These were career-changing injuries. Each one stole valuable time from her, preventing her from fully realizing her potential, challenging the norm. And that consistency is what ultimately set her apart. But Stephen A.'s point about Paige is just as important. Paige had everything to be a dominant force in women's basketball, but the injuries interrupted that journey. What could have been? It's the question that keeps coming back. We'll never truly know how far Paige could have gone without those injuries. But Stephen A. wasn't just saying that because he's a fan of her game. He was saying it because he recognized her potential, and that potential still exists. Caitlin Clark, in all her brilliance, hasn't missed a beat. She's been available, consistent, and has elevated the sport. She's proven herself time and time again. But Paige Bueckers still has the tools. Stephen A. emphasized that if Paige can stay healthy, there's no doubt that she can challenge Caitlin Clark. She has everything it takes, Stephen A. said. We've seen glimpses of it. But here's the difference. Caitlin Clark has been able to put it all together. She hasn't just been healthy, she's been exceptional. That's what makes her a generational talent. Consistency, performance, and availability matter in the world of sports. And Caitlin Clark has been able to deliver on all fronts. Her legacy is being written right now, and it's hard to deny that she's shaping the future of women's basketball. But Paige's journey is far from over. The injuries have been brutal, but her talent is still there, waiting for the right moment. If she can stay healthy, the debate isn't over. It's just beginning. This isn't about who's more marketable or who has the better story. It's about who is delivering on the court. And right now, Caitlin Clark is ticking every box. Her performance, her influence on the sport, and her ability to dominate every time she steps on the court put her in a league of her own. But Paige? She's still a force. If she can recover and stay fit, she could very well challenge. Stephen A.'s comment wasn't just a throwaway line. It was a reminder that women's basketball is full of incredible talent. And while Caitlin Clark may sit at the top right now, Paige Bueckers has the potential to shake things up once again. The real question is, what happens when Paige is healthy? Because if she's at her best, the rivalry between these two could rewrite the future of women's basketball in ways we can't even imagine, Yao.